Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be playing the Storm Dragon deck that I've been playing a fair bit. It's basically just Storm Ramp Dragon. It's got over a 60% win rate currently, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. Hopefully we can have some decent games. You know, it does hit or miss here and there. Its worst matchup currently is Shadow, which is extremely popular. That's about the only deck I've lost to a lot out of over nearly 30 games, I think. Yeah, exactly 30 games. I've lost to at least 7 to 8 Shadows, with a total of 13 losses and 17 wins. Alright. We want that early ramp, and keeping Waterworm is because I only have one of it in this deck. If I had the option, I would run more. I just currently don't have that choice, otherwise I would. So there is room to definitely improve this deck, and I'd highly recommend it if you have more waters to put them in. If you have more, like Ezraphils, I think that's the card that it's called. That's definitely another card you'll want to put in when you can. It's actually going to fit really nicely on curve. Rahab 4, 5, 6. And that should take us up to 8 pretty quickly. And we also do get the heal effect, thanks to them dealing damage to us. Alright. Make themselves take a heap of damage, that's fine with me. We will remove the 4/4 from the board. Actually, we might actually hit face. Alright. We might be able to push a super early game with Dragoon, which would be absolutely ideal here. So if they have no way to actually heal back up or defend themselves, we should be fine. They've actually put themselves in a really bad spot by playing that. The only risk I can think of is stuff like Diablo Drain. Great. Alright. Trying to think of another way to do this now. I mean, I can use the Dark Dragoon and push the damage, which is really going to be valuable, I reckon. But, on the other hand, we've also got Breath, which is an epic way to clear this for now. Since they haven't got Serpent on the board, or a Belfer in hand at the moment, we don't really need to worry about that. So, all we need now is to hopefully get something good out. Alright, that's good. That's something I now don't have to worry about. That will take us to 9. That means 10 is going to be playable. Which also means I have no use for keeping this thing. So, the best play right now would be Ouroboros, because then I could combo it with Zeal, turn 10. Pull out 11 damage quite easily without even trying. That would be really good. But I can also do a reasonable amount of damage with Lucifer. I can also clear the board with Lightning Blast. It's awesome. So even if they do play Serpent next turn, I have pretty much a guaranteed clear on it. It's just going to depend on how they play this board. Alright, another Dark Air Jammer. That's pretty crazy right there. I would love to draw into Bahamut actually right now. That would be insane. Alright. So, I'm just thinking about this. And we actually have lethal. Awesome. So I was a little worried for a second, but coming up with lethal is one thing this dragon deck can do quite well. By using the Zeal here to trade into the 1/4, we open up an 8 damage lethal since they didn't clear board. Perfect. And this is why I've been using this deck to rank up lately. It's been really efficient at winning, which is what you want. It's actually pretty much on par with my Haven deck for wins. But the Haven deck kind of dropped off. I've been trying to mix it up with different variants. So let's hope that this deck can do well in a second game. You know, you do occasionally get a bad matchup, so I kind of expect that going into games. Like, a mirror match is kind of average. It just depends on whether they're running an optimized list or an unoptimized list, and whether they get a good ramp. Haven, I haven't had too much trouble with. It just depends. If you get a really bad hand, you're screwed. If you get an average hand, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Shadow is a poor matchup overall, just because it's heavily aggroed. And Blood is very hit or miss because of the different variants. If you get hit with heavy aggro, you can lose. If you get hit with heavy control, you can lose. But on the flip side, you can also win off the same sort of advantage there. This match is going to be Shadow, so I am in the mindset that I'm at a disadvantage and have to try and play as well as I can to pull back off this. So I need them to have a weak start, and that is not a weak start for Shadow at all. Can't even risk playing the Salamander yet, because no doubt I am going to need that turn 6. So these guys are going to create a real trouble for me, because no doubt this is going to be Catacomb for turn 3, so they probably have the perfect hand right now. If it's not Catacomb, it's going to be some variation of swarming the board. Apply Rabbit, that's a good example. I think my best bet now is to actually use the Salamander and start trading with stuff. That way I'm limiting the amount of damage I can take and limiting the amount of Catacomb advantage they can gain. So I've only got to make it till about turn 6, turn 7, and I should be able to push them back. Alright. Not good, but not bad either. I mean, they are going to trade here, which obviously isn't the best, but we also get to trade. Awesome. And now we're leaving up the Bone Chimera because it can easily trade into us, otherwise they may just smack face. So the problem with Shadow is they have so many outs. Like if they play Cerberus here, which they have, just made things a lot more difficult for me. Cerberus gets pretty much a free trade. That will put us on 7 though, which means Lucifer can now be dropped quite nicely. I would play the Dragoons, but here I'm at a huge disadvantage, so I need to play something more effective. And use the Evolve. But from here on out, it shouldn't be as bad. I mean, we've got Ouroboros, which is a heal and damage, so we can constantly keep clearing things. Catacombs would be a pain, but it wouldn't be that bad to deal with at this stage, so we're not in too bad a spot overall. We can also drop Lucifer next turn if we just want it for healing. Don't want to use it for anything else. Otherwise, it probably is going to be Ouroboros. Just for the pure damage heal combination. Plus, Shadow doesn't tend to run any banishment, meaning Ouroboros is almost guaranteed to get value. So, this should be interesting. Alright, this is a little problem. Especially if they are going to double Catacomb, that could be really bad. And they did. Alright. Trying to think on the risk to how much damage I can potentially take. So they're going to completely fill the board here. Trying to think. Edekar is 7, boost everything plus 2. That will put it at 8. But the Ouroboros is a really good card here. I'm only trying to currently hold out, so this actually might be alright. We can use this to our advantage. It'll be fine. Most likely they will trade. That or they may just all pressure face. Nope, they are going to trade. So they are going to go for the Edeka play. think that's what it's called. No, Wind Guard. Okay, that's a okay replacement, I guess. Another bunch of damage. Now I'm going to have to probably heal. Isn't too bad. They're gonna... Alright, 2. Trying to think about the damage here. What I can really do about it. I mean, I have 8 on board. But I've only got 15 total I can deal at once. I really need the heals here, so we're going to take those. That's going to get me up to 7. Killing this is going to boost me up by another 3. That'll put us at 10. And Windguard is going to kill me. So regardless of what I did there, it wasn't going to matter because Windguard will finish me off. Which I did kind of expect anyway. But this is actually really good. It showed a good matchup where things do work out for this deck, which is what you want. And it showed a pretty average matchup against Shadow, where you are at a disadvantage. My win-loss rate against Shadow is probably below 40%. Shadow is just something that hits Dragon really hard with its aggro, especially with my unoptimized list. And Dragon tends to do about 50-50 against other dragons and about 60 against Haven, I would say, judging by my current spreadsheet. So that's not too bad at all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Check out the links in the description where this deck list will be. And I hope you guys have as much success as I have with this deck. And catch you guys next time. See ya.